My name is Lecturer Kilaji, Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, speaking in Kenya Republic, Nairobi National Government, Embakasi East Constituency, Embakasi East Constituency in that case, and Miongo Ward actually in the same Embakasi East. So that's my name. I said I'm Lecturer Kilaji, Bishop Kenya Michael Loltome, and I'm going to speak the word of God today in relation to Kenya politics. All right, and I'm going to talk about what will heaven be like? What will be heaven be like for those human beings who are normally living on planet Earth to heaven? So we are going to read the book of John, chapter 14, verses 1 to 2, and then we will be we would like to know how is heaven like? What could be, what will heaven be like if you happen to go to heaven? You know, it is good to know that we are living temporarily here on planet Earth, and there's a place we are going called heaven, and it's also good for us to prepare ourselves, all right, as human beings, because we are temporarily here. Our world actually normally offers a variety of false gods to worship, all right, and one major religion's features is about false gods, power, and revenge at times, because these false religions normally are full of revenge. They are telling people to revenge and to do many things. John the Apostle, one of the 12 original disciples of Jesus Christ, wrote this book actually sometime of the Gospel of John, that is AD 80 after Jesus Christ left, 80 years, and 95 also likewise. Okay, so John actually explained himself that his goal was that for people to know God, okay, to believe in God, and also to know that their life is actually temporarily here. You can read also John 20:31, and okay, so it is actually wrote something very small for us to believe in God, so that although there are many things which God have done. So what will heaven be like? I'm going to read Jesus comfort his disciples when he was about to leave to heaven, that case. Opening and closing inverted commas, the word of Jesus, do not let your heart be troubled. He told his disciples about that. Trust in God, put also in me, and trust also in me. In my Father's house are many rooms. If they are not so, I could have told you, I'm going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I am going. That is the word of Jesus Christ to his disciples when he was about to leave them and to go to heaven, where many people believe that he came from also likewise. So his disciples were so much worried, like Kenyans today. We are so many who are worried there, because a few days ago we have lost so many people because of mass protests, and tomorrow again we are going to lose so many people, and that is of Wednesday, God forbid, and Thursday and Friday, because now the opposition and also the supreme power of Kenyans, together with the president, we call it People's President, His Excellency Opposition Leader Raila Odinga. Many people now, 3/4 of Kenyans, out of 50 million, 3/4 of them like a new president called Raila Odinga, His Excellency, to rule them rather than the current president, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto. Many people want Raila to rule them. So we are going to lose some people tomorrow again, most likely, God forbid, and we don't know who. We don't know who, even myself, I don't know, of my faith and others also. Because if the house is on fire, you don't know who will be going to be spared. So actually, what will heaven be like for those people who are going then to heaven tomorrow? I said, even myself, I don't know whether I will go tomorrow to heaven or others. It depends, because now the government is under fire, and tomorrow there will be a terrible mass action, which is very horrifying, very horrific. Even police are complaining that they don't have, enough canisters tear gas to, to control the crowd. Neither they themselves, they don't have protective gears, okay, to contain, to control people. So everybody's worried, including even the security. That is in the media. So what will heaven be like if you are to go to heaven? Jesus described heaven as a house with many rooms. That is in verse 2. He said, in my Father's house, that is God, are many rooms. And if there were not, I could have told you, I'm going there to prepare a place for you. All right? So heaven is described as a house with many rooms. Okay, in a figurative speech of unlimited space place. We don't know the measurement, like the world today. We know the limitation of Kenya boundaries and other countries, but we are told in a figurative speech, heaven is an unlimited. Nobody is immeasurable. Hakuna mtu anaweza kupima that kind of space. So Jesus told his disciples like that, where he did not tell them the details of heaven. Okay, remember also he did not tell them about the details. Okay, some more details apart from that. So heaven, for those who are going, it is a kind of a location which is in upward sky location in Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66 verse 1 and 2. And he assured his followers, that is Jesus Christ, that where he could be, because he's there, and he was anticipating to live that day, they could be there as well. He was concerned more than they could gain an assurance about heaven than have full understanding about it. Alright? It is like in other countries, you know that for those of us who have never been to other countries, probably, I have been to some, but I did not go to some. If you are to go to a country which you have never been, you don't know the details of that country, and you cannot tell how it will look like. So likewise, even heaven, it is like that. So for those who are going to heaven, you will meet Jesus tomorrow, and it is you will have a room, all right, in a spirit kind of a form. You will not live. You go with this body. This body is very weak. You will be given later on a glorifying body. Later on again, when Jesus return again in the air to come and rule again on earth. So it is actually a place with unlimited space, and we are told that you will go there in your spirit and in your what we call soul, mind, intellect. With the body is there. We are going to leave the body, but we are going to live to go with our spirit, which is the breath. Now I'm talking. The breath, my breath will go to heaven, the spirit kind of form. And my psyche, akili yangu pia itaenda na kwa Mungu, we call it soul, nafsi. Nafsi na roho ndio itaenda na mwili itabaki. Najua binadamu ni mara tatu tu. Roho ambayo ni breath, ambayo vile una pumzi, na pia akili yako ndio naitwa soul ama nafsi, na pia mwili ambayo inaitwa body in English. So it's our spirit which will go, which is now the way I'm talking, I'm speaking the breath of God which has given me, and put it in this body together with the soul akili. So I will go with my spirit and soul to God. Anytime I will go, if it is tomorrow or any other day, I will go and then be with God. Alright, God the Father, and then Jesus is also there. Alright, that is actually according to this report we have read. And it is in upward sky location. Iko juu. Hatujui ni maili ngapi. We don't know. It is immeasurable kind of distance. We don't know. But we are told in the book of Isaiah 66, God is actually seated there and it is stepping the earth. In Isaiah 66, verse 1. And it is stated like this. This is what the Lord says. Opening and closing in inverted comma. Isaiah 66 verse 1. Heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house you will build for me? That is here now on earth. Where will my resting place be? Okay? So we are told heaven is actually a sky kind of a location, upward location, where God's throne is, and the earth is God's footstool. in Isaiah 66 verse 1. So Mungu anakaa kama vile mimi nimekaa, anakalia kiti yake huko mbinguni, lakini anaona kila mahali, everywhere. He's seeing everywhere in Psalms 139. So in short, what are the ways of solving conflict in Kenya? I have written to our president myself, and I have also written to Chief Opposition President also, both of them, Raila Amolo Odinga, His Excellencies, both of them. I've given them a piece kind of a book, but they have received it, but they seem to be not actually acting upon what I have said. So for those of human beings who are going to heaven because of this mass protest starting from tomorrow in Kenya Republic, I have said where heaven is. I have prepared for your heart and mind too. So what are the ways of solving conflict in Kenya Republic ongoing so terrifying civil disobedient mass action protests across the country for 7 county government tomorrow? We call it federal state because they are independent, inter-independent, in a way, inter-independent with their parliaments, with their small president called governors. So, and 290 constituencies within those 47 county government and 1,450 ward assemblies within those 47 county government. So, what are the ways of solving conflict in Kenya Republic ongoing so terrifying civil disobedient mass action process across the country tomorrow, beginning with tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the result will be out for the winner, whether it's President Ruto will be the winner to quell the project, the mass action, or the incoming president again. In that case, if you will win, Raila Amolo Odinga, His Excellency, both of them. Okay, so we are going to get the exam result after Friday. Who will be the winner of that exam of this mass action? So before next week, deadly mass action will expected to pave a way for Raila Amolo Odinga to be Kenya new president if he will win the incoming election of mass action. He will be actually the president in that case. For beginning from tomorrow, if he will win, because he has three quarter of 50 million Kenyans. And many people believe that Raila Amolo Odinga will be the next president in some few weeks to come. Some few days, in fact. So the main alternative dispute resolution in that case method, which can be available in Kenya today before tomorrow, for the president, the head of state, President Ruto, and also Raila Amolo Odinga, okay? If this president is wise enough, he could have stepped down. That's my word. If I were him, because 3/4 of Kenya don't like me, and if people don't like me, I could have resigned. So I could have even, in a wise council, I would have told the president to resign even today. His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, because 3/4 of Kenyans seems actually not to like him, because they are saying that they are not getting welfares properly. The government, the annual development project programs, since the president took over the office of executive office of the president on August 9 last year, up to now, all right, which is almost now 1 year. Okay, nothing is going on. There's no annual development project going on in the whole republic, and the president is just writing that and in his speech that is going to provide them, but there's nothing going on there. And he's also employing only his party, United Democratic Alliance ruling type of government people, who he believes that they have voted for him, and then he left the others not actually getting anything. And the same people of last regime are the same people in his government, because he was also there. So this is now what is provoking a war in Kenya. So what are the ways of solving conflict in case the president might have a step for the few hours, meet Raila Amolo Odinga to discuss. There is no mandatory requirement for parties to commercial litigation to submit to any alternative dispute resolution now proceeding as we are seeing. There's nothing going on. The president seems not to be actually meeting Raila Amolo Odinga in some few hours to come, before the mass action start off. So what are the disadvantages of civil political war if it has to happen tomorrow, God forbid, as far as ongoing Kenya mass action is concerned? To topple the president government, that is unfair government. That is most people believe. of President Ruto administration. So in favor of Raila Odinga, obvious. So political serious civil disobedience mass action war normally, if it has to happen tomorrow again, God forbid, because it's just a few hours, it normally destroy communities and families and often disrupt the development of the social and economic fabric of nations. I stated even in my Facebook, which I have told them, that these are some of the consequences they will expect tomorrow. Okay? In that political serious civil disobedience mass action tomorrow, war, civil war, obvious, it will destroy communities. Some people will lose lives and families. Okay? And also public servants, soldiers, and also civilians, and everybody else. Even some innocent people, stray bullets might get people. Okay? And also it will disrupt our development. There will be no social development going on tomorrow in economic, and it will now destroy the economic fabric of the nation. We will lose a lot of money, millions and millions of shillings. People will be closing shops tomorrow, and businesses and banks everywhere. So the effect of war include long-term physical also and psychological harm to children particularly. Children are worrying now so much than adults, but also adults are worried, as well as reducing also material and human capital and resources will be wasted tomorrow. A lot of looting will take place tomorrow, and a lot of deaths tomorrow, God forbid, as well, across all 47 county government, 290 constituencies, and 1,450 world assemblies, parliament regions. People are to prepare for this. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I've actually told people to prepare themselves. So what are the 5 effects of political civil disobedience in Kenya so far, as now we are seeing it going on actually tomorrow? Okay? So what some of the things you will expect tomorrow, a lot of injuries, social violence, people should, women and men should be very careful, because there will be a lot of sodomy and a lot of lesbianism going on tomorrow. And malnutrition also, some people might suffer a lot, some of them are depending on others, may not get food. And also illnesses might also affect people, because all the hospitals may also be affected. There will be no medications. And all those disabilities will occur tomorrow. Some people, you will see them today with both legs, may not have legs tomorrow, and eyes, and many parts of their bodies, and even death can occur. So these are some of the things you will expect tomorrow to Friday in Kenya, mass action. And some of the most threatening physical consequences also will be, in that case, a lot of people will be crying, and a lot of depression will also take place. We call it post-traumatic stress disorders. PTSD, depression and anxieties are some of the emotional effects you will witness tomorrow. And it has already started even today. Many people today are tongue-tied because they don't know their fate tomorrow of their lives in Kenya. As I speak now, as a priest of Kenya Republic, here in Embakasi East Constituency, Nairobi, capital city and national government. So what do you mean by peace building normally in a kind of in a nation like Kenya today? Okay, which many people think now it is a very oppressive government because you're not giving them social welfare. Peace building is the development of a constructive personal, group, and political relationship across ethnic, religious, class, and national and racial boundaries. It normally brings a good relationship or a constructive kind of a good, personal kind of a peace building, kind of a people living together in an amicable way, in a personal level, in a group level, in a political level, in ethnicity levels, and religious levels, in all classes, be it administrative and political, and also national, and also in other racial groups. Normally, peace building, if it has to be done properly, it will help people to solve problem and also solve problem of injustice. And non-violence may not occur if people are to build peace, okay, among themselves. And they will also transform their structural conditions to generate actually good kind of, developmental kind of agendas, if they are to build peace. So that is usually, many people like it, but it is not easy to be attained, particularly in Kenya now. So what are some of the methods of conflict resolution in Kenya, if it has to happen, which of course now it has failed totally? We have something we call mediation, which is a process whereby the political parties meet mutually and select impartial and neutral persons who normally assist them to make a kind of a negotiation among them, to tell them the differences they are, having. But there's no person now mediating Kenya. Nothing. Nobody's our president and our president, also opposition president, both of them, no, they don't listen any mediation at all. So negotiation also another thing, which could have, if they could have agreed for negotiation, could have been the better term. Negotiation might refer a strategic discussion intended to resolve an issue in amicable, lovely way. But our president, Ruto, and our opposition leader, President Raila Odinga, both of them excellencies, they are not willing to accept such kind of negotiations. They just want to drag the country into war, and it will start tomorrow again. And we have seen it some few days ago. Now it is continuing. Litigation is the process of taking legal action to solve conflict, political conflict or personal conflict in a large established justice court, but they are not willing. All right? The court has tried to solve their problem, their elections differences, but they have failed. Even Mother Kaome have tried to help them. She has also failed. That's judiciary. And priests like me, I've written to both of them about peace. None of them is listening. Okay? I've given them a peace book. I've given them a kind of a peace book. I've given to the president office. This was my copy. Yeah, and the president copy was here. And this is me here. All right? This is the president copy. The president copy was here. All right? And this is actually my address. I've given them. They have received it actually on 5th. Even the office of the president, executive of the president, William Samuel Ruto, Arambe House, I've given this. They have received it and they have handed over to him. And I've given this to the Raila. About peace, nothing, no fruit. There's no fruit. All right? So actually, even this we have failed now in mediating these two gentlemen, our president, His Excellency Ruto, and His Excellency also Raila Odinga. We have tried to mediate them to bring peace, nothing. To negotiation, nothing. To litigation about court issues, they have also refused. Arbitration is also another procedure which normally dispute can be submitted by an agreement of the parties concerned. Okay, we have made this in a binding decision kind of a dispute, but they are not actually ready for it. So, and also another 50 thing they have refused is what we call conciliation and also reconciliation. They are not for it. An alternative dispute resolution, that is, whereby the parties in dispute can be reconciled. They are not willing for that. So let the Kenyans prepare for the civil war tomorrow. Alright? Because we are defeated, actually. All of us. God now knows what will happen. What does it mean to subdue the planet Earth? That in that case, we human beings, God has given us intellect. In Genesis 1:26 and 7, we are not like animals. That you cannot hear what you are told and do what you are told, which is good and bad. So if you read actually Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 to 8, you will see that God has created us in our own image, whereby we look like God because we have akili, to have intellect. We have decision abilities of decision making. We call it will. Tunaweza kuchagua kitu mzuri au mbaya. Also, we have emotions. We can be happy or angry. Tunaweza kukasirika na kufurahi. But this president of ours, Ruto, actually, although they are having God image, they are not ready to listen anything, together with the opposition leader, Raila Odinga. So, know that actually God has entrusted human being to be the custodian of the planet Earth, which is now Kenyans are destroying. Okay? We are supposed to take care of the resources which God has given us, particularly to be responsible in those verses, particularly like Genesis verse 128, not in that case, neither to have alliances of abuse of power or to destroy the environment and waste the environment. And also, we are not also prohibited to use the resources like, animals, which we have, we use it, like money, like minerals, like trees and water for people to use to improve their lives, which are going to be destroyed tomorrow in Kenya. And we are told to be the custodian of the earth of Kenya Republic. All of us, we are mandated actually in a security shared kind of mandates as people of Kenya. We are supposed to have the first rule of security is to be vigilant and to take care of the land, the custodian. We are the custodian of Kenya. We are supposed to have alliances, not to abuse the environment, not to abuse others, to kill them or to harm them, not to abuse the animals we have or the resources we have like minerals, trees, to burn them and buildings and to destroy water sources and also anything which will improve our lives. But the Kenyans now are ready to do that. They are refusing to be the custodian of Kenya, including our president, including our opposition leader, including everybody. Almost 3/4 of Kenyans want to burn the country. That's what I'm telling the world today. Even United Nations better to know. His Excellency, United Nations Secretary, His Excellency Antonio Guterres, which has also voiced his voice here in Kenya, that people are not actually taking care of the country. Okay? But nobody's listening in. AIU also has sent 10 presidents. I don't know whether they have left, but they have been here. The opposition president, Raila Odinga, and also our president, President Ruto, both excellencies, seem to be not ready to hear anyone. So Kenyans, be very careful tomorrow. And also our officers are also in a high risk, so that I conclude this matter. Tomorrow up to Friday, because today we are told our officers and the riot of police officers who are mandated to quell the holy anchor mass action tomorrow against the government, which is not providing people with welfare. Tomorrow, Wednesday to Friday, the police officers are also complaining in the daily newspaper, the report today, that actually they are not actually given anti-police riot gears to protect themselves. So they are lacking specific tear gas canisters to scare away protesters from causing harm, death, and people's property to be looted. The police are complaining they are not actually having them. And so they are also vulnerable for anything. They can be killed very easily by the mass crowd. Alright? And they are not allowed to shoot people who are also not armed like them. So that is another kind of a scenario which is facing Kenya today. That the police officers, according to the daily newspaper report today, were lacking basic self-protection gears. And there are sons and daughters in police, in army, in Kenya Paramilitary General Service Unit. These are our sons. Okay? They are not people from outside. They are not Al-Shabaab or terrorists from other countries, external aggressors. They are our own sons and daughters. They are complaining. Kenyans, our people are going also to harm us tomorrow, because the government is not providing them the protective gears when someone throws stones to protect them, or to throw some kind of arrows to protect them, or spears, or probably even some with the kind of explosives, we don't know, and guns, we don't know, because human beings are not like animals. It's very hard to be handled. So the police are saying most likely even the fighting tomorrow between Raila factions, the opposition Raila Odinga group, and those who are supporting Ruto, they are going to clash also themselves tomorrow and to clash with the government. So the police are saying actually it will be uncontrollable kind of a protest tomorrow. That is what is there. Finally, I am also surprised why the president government has withdrawn all our opposition leader allies security officers. It is so unfair. It is so unfair. I disagree on that. I disagree on that completely. Okay? I disagree with that completely. Okay? It is not a wise idea. It is not a wise idea. It is not a wise idea. Okay? It is not a wise idea. It is stated today that actually Raila Amolo Odinga, all protest, all his followers, they are now withdrawn. All their, they are withdrawn. All their security people who are supposed to normally to protect them, they are withdrawn. That's according to Daily Nation newspaper today. It is not wise. All right? Because now that will provoke now the 3/4 of Kenya to protect these people more than even other times. Raila now will have 3/4 million of Kenyans, 50 million, 3/4 of them. Then it will actually, the police will be unable to control that crowd, because now those people will now surround those politicians together with also their boss and our boss, all of us, also myself. Okay, our bosses. The president is our boss. The opposition, Raila Amolo Odinga, is our boss. So now people will be, surrounding Raila Amolo Odinga 3/4 of Kenyans tomorrow and support him more than the government. So I am just saying this. Let us take care to be very careful, because it's a very dangerous days in Kenya. Particularly if you read also Ephesians chapter 5 verses 15 and 16, we are facing a very dangerous kind of a life tomorrow. And I've highlighted what I've said, and I will not repeat it again. So let's take care, and we will not tell people not to protest, because that is also part the Kenya Constitution allow it. In the 2010 Constitution, there is a freedom of association and freedom of of voicing your grievances if the government is not helping people. So we will not tell people to stop actually demanding their rights. We cannot. As a priest, I cannot tell them that they are doing something wrong, because if you stay in a